Okay, welcome everyone. We have a special guest with us tonight, Jennifer Wooten. She is a 6-star diamond coach, 2-time elite, SC5 legend. And she's also a member of the DC Council, which I'm on, and she's in the same town as I am, so we're good friends. And I've had her on our team call last year, if you remember, or if you showed up for that one. But she has this really great system. And last year, I think she talked about like how she used local groups, right? To like she meets at Wegmans and she shares meal planning and recipes and stuff. And then she takes ladies shopping for 21-day fix and stuff like that. So I had her share that system last year because I thought it was ingenious. But this year I asked her to share, or tonight I asked her to share about, she has this really great system that she uses for expanding her warm market and for doing invitations and follow-up. And I thought that would be really helpful to everyone on the team, and especially the newer coaches who have joined us recently. So Jennifer, if you want to go ahead and take it away.
Thank you for that introduction. Absolutely. You have an awesome team. It was a pleasure last year to speak as well. So I'm going to dive right in. A lot of you guys, I see a lot of new faces. So those who do not know me, I am a mom to 4 teenagers. I work a full-time corporate job. When I first started this business 3 years ago, I worked 4 part-time jobs because I had a back that would not cooperate for longer than 4 hours at a time. I was 40 pounds overweight, and I've lost that 40 pounds in this time of being a coach. I started the 21-day fix. I was a complete doubter. I was going to return it within, the 30 days. I, had excuses for an entire year. My coach chased me every single month asking me if I was ready to do something about reaching my goals yet. And I just kept telling her no. So jumping ahead, here I am 3 years later. I only started for the discount because I was cheap. I only wanted to lose weight, never wanted to coach. And here I am, I started with 120 friends and my page on private. My page is still on private because of my corporate job. But I no longer have 120 friends. I think I'm over 2,000 now, but they're all intentional. And so that's what I want to talk to you guys about tonight, is growing your cold market intentionally. Anybody can go and friend request 1,000 people, right? Probably not in all one day because I think it's like against Facebook rules, but any one of you guys can go and make thousands of friends. But if you don't keep track of them, if you don't be intentional with your purpose of friend requesting them or getting to know them, then you're just going to have a bunch of friends, right? And you don't know anything about any of them. And so you're not really speaking to them when you're posting. And so that's what I wanted to get into tonight. I'm going to throw in my binder system with it. I think Team Z is awesome. I think there's a lot of other programs out there that keep track of people and kind of force you to talk to people you'd never talked to before. But I'm a paper pen girl. I deal with spreadsheets all day long in my corporate job, so I refuse to do them with coaching. And so you will see me pull out my big binder here shortly. But first things I want to talk to you about is cold market. If you're not quite sure of what this even means, there's several different ways about reaching your cold market. My jam is mostly social media. You can also do it in person. You can, your teachers, your doctors, your bankers, your hairdressers, these are all part of your cold market. And you need to always be ready to talk to somebody about your passions, about your journey. Just always be ready. I have a album on my phone with before and afters of every single person I've ever helped, starting with myself. And that's just something to always keep in mind. Always have business cards ready for your cold market that's out and about in the real world. Always have an album ready on your phone to start sharing pictures so you're not sitting there flipping through Facebook frantically trying to show them something that you've accomplished. And just always be ready with your 30-second commercial of who you are, what you do, how you help people. And just what it does for you, and your passion behind your words should speak for itself. It should not feel like you're trying to sell someone. So I just wanted to hit on that first, just in case you're not quite sure what your cold market is. It's people that you do not already know, and that don't know you. They don't know anything about you. And that's the really cool part about attraction marketing. And that's kind of my jam, because I'm a very private person. So those that I let in, they're there on purpose. And so that's what we're going to dive into. Before you're allowed to dive into my binder system, I want to make sure that you guys know you must always, always, always start with purpose and intention and go do a gut check of your page, okay? I don't add or accept any friend requests unless I'm in the middle of my power hour. It is part of my power hour. If it's, you know, random, I'm at the park or hanging out or whatever, and I get a bunch of friend requests, I don't touch them until I'm doing my power hour, because I want to write their names down. I want to I want to accept it, and I want to go to their page, and I want to love on them, and I want to message them and tell them, thank you for adding me, right? Or if I've sent the request, thank you for accepting me. It's so exciting to bond over whatever the heck we talked about, and I'm going to get over that part. And send them a little love message or whatever to just welcome them to your world, right? So important. Do a freaking gut check, you guys. Does your page reflect that you help people? Does your page reflect that you walk the walk? Are you a product of the product? Because if you're not a product of the product, you could stop right now, stop taking notes, and you should just quit. Because if you're not a product of the product, you will not go anywhere in this business. You're just trying to sell something, right? If you don't believe in your products, then you're just trying to sell something. And what I like to believe is I have never sold one thing. I only suggest things. So walk the walk. That's number 2. And number 3, does your page excite you? You should be exciting. You should have your sense of humor, your whatever. Or maybe you don't have a sense of humor. Maybe, I don't know, whatever it is that just defines you. You should be able to go to your page, and when they're the first 5, 6 posts, be able to tell who you are and that you're exciting. Because what is the first thing that you do when somebody friends requests you? You go to their page and you check them out, like, who the heck is this person, right? That's the same thing they're doing to you. So your 5 featured photos, those should be the highlight reel of your life. Those should be the most important. You should see a before and after, or maybe it's one of your challengers that you've helped a huge transformation or something. But that cover picture, those 5 featured photos, your profile picture, listen, I bet your dogs are absolutely the best dogs in the entire world, and you're the best fur mom in the entire world. But that should not be your profile picture. They are not friend requesting Buffy the freaking cat or whatever, okay? They need to know that you're a real person with a real face, okay? And that you're not spamming them. So just do that little gut check first, okay? Go through your stuff. Before I go do my power hour, I try and post something fun and exciting and whatever, so that the first thing that they see when they come to my page is not something about Beachbody, because I don't even talk about Beachbody. I am not Beachbody. It's not something, but maybe something about one of my groups, something inviting, something that just shows who I am. So that's enough on that. You should always have a calendar out, you guys. You should always know what you're inviting to before you go start friend requesting people, right? Before I get started on my power hour, my calendar's in front of me. Okay, next week I have opportunity call. I have, these different things going on. That's what I'm inviting to. So I want to make sure before I start my power hour of friend requesting people, I know what I'm inviting to. I've put my post up that goes with my theme for next week, and I'm about to grow intentional, right? I am about to grow intentionally, and now we're going to start making friends, right? But I'm going to do a little screen share. And I'm going to go over this system and how I find friends. I don't even know what's up. I'm about to screen share, and it's like going in blind here, you guys. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so my page, I go, before I start anything, I go and I make sure that I have something inviting, something that, my 5 featured photos, they show who I am, that I have an amazing team. I have some awesome kids. And I went on here before I started with you guys, and I just asked my friends, and I don't know how many friends actually cooperated, but I asked them to tell us where I met them from, because I was doing this call, and I wanted to just show you guys that I didn't know half of these people. I didn't know any of these people really, except for the main 120 of them before we started. And so, you see, you're my coaching grandma. You introduced mutual friends, kids, just things like that. So I'm good on my gut check. I'm going to go over these 3 pages that I always have out before I start friend requesting people, All right, it's part of my binder system. I'm going to send it all to Greg. You guys are more than happy to look over it. So once a month, every month, I fill this form out, okay? This is the binder system for beginners, and I'm going to get into where you're going to find all these amazing friends in just a second, but before you start finding friends, you have to have a system to track them, or it's pointless adding, and that's all it's ever going to be, and it doesn't really amount to anything. So I have this form every single month. I put it in a little slip cover, a little sheet protector in my binder. That way I can use my dry erase every single day for my daily tasks. I just go in and I check in my groups and I check that off. And just, you know, and you can change the wording or whatever. And I just have all that stuff there. My daily posts, I make sure that I post something about each and every one of these every single day. I have monthly focuses. This is very, very important, you guys. To grow your cold market, you need to know where to focus. So you know all those groups that you belong to, bicycle riding, book clubs, mom groups, all those different groups. You need to pick 3 groups every single month to focus on where you're going to find friends. No more than that. You want to make sure that you're loving on them extra hard, right? The same group of people are seeing your face all month long. And so I write down my groups of focus. I also write down the name of my challenge group, and so I know which one I'm focusing on that month. I write down 3 goals for the month, right? This month's goals were, you know, reach Success Club 10 by the 7th, complete quarter 4s, run 14 miles. It doesn't have to be anything, you know, about going 15-star or whatever in a month. Just, you know, basic goals. Success Club should always be one of them, by the way. So just write that stuff down. And then you go over here. This is where you track those who order. Anybody that orders from you in the month, you're going to write their name down here because you're always going to be able to refer back to the sheet. People who say no, those are my absolute favorite people. Those are not people who ignore you. Those are not people who never speak to you or never return your messages. Those are people that have liked something on your page, you've messaged, you've talked about goals, and as soon as you said the price, they said no, right? I love those people. They're my favorite freaking people because I was that person for an entire year. So I love on those people extra hard. So I write them down here. And sometimes you'll have more and you'll need to flip over to the back. That's totally cool too. So that's monthly tracker sheet. This is go for no, 100 bubble sheets, right? So every single time I friend request someone or somebody friend requests me in the month, this is just for 1 month, I write their name in this bubble, right? And I'm going to send you guys what I send Greg. It's going to have the materials you need for this retarded binder system I have and all that stuff. And it's 3 highlighters. I have a green, I have a yellow, and I have a pink. Green is for those who said yes. Yellow are those who are those who have not responded and there's been no interaction. Pink are for those who said no, right? And you can use your own colors, but I'm telling you mine. So I write down every single person that I friend request or that friend requests me for the month in this, and I know by the color where I am at with that person. Once they say yes or no flat out, they move over to the other sheet. Whoop. Right? Yes or no's. Easy. Goes there. Once they say yes, and especially, you know, coaches, your coaches need to be challengers as well. Do not ever treat them any differently. So I always write down if they're a coach or they're a customer, and this just kind of gives me, you know, where we're at, what their goals are and stuff like that. They always go in here. And then once they become a yes, they go into my tracker system, right? I have 30 tabs, and, you know, say I met them on the 15th. They purchased on the 15th. They grabbed their, you know, challenge pack or whatever. That's when they said yes. So I know that I need to follow up with them in like 2 days because you got to constantly love on people. I'll bump them up to the 17th. And I just keep going. And then on the 17th, I literally only open this tab and I do my follow-ups for that day only. I may move a couple people up a couple tabs. If they're people I'm just checking in on, that have kind of, you know, they just need like monthly checkups or whatever, I'll leave them in the 17 tab. You know, you just bump them up as you need, but there's only 30 tabs. So on day 31, that's where you go back to your bubble sheets. And that's where you go back to the other sheet and you go through all those no's and all those maybes. And then you just do some fun follow-ups with them and try and get some more no's or some more yeses, right? And so that's my little system that I use. But to use that system, you need to know how to find friends. So hopefully some people have cooperated by now, which they haven't. So one of my favorite groups is Curly Hair Don't Care. I want you all to make sure that you're in groups of interest, things that actually interest you. Do-it-yourself groups, wedding planning groups, moms. I want to throat chop my children almost on a daily basis, you guys. And so I belong to a lot of groups of moms that want to throat chop their children. Because I want to be, I want to have something in common with the people that I'm surrounding myself with. And so Curly Hair Don't Care. I go in here and get hair ideas for my daughters. Both my girls have super curly hair. I go in here, what you're doing in these groups. And if you don't know how to find get into these groups, go to Groups Discover and just find groups of interest. You're not going in here to post about your groups. You're not going in here to talk about Beachbody. You are not going in here to say, hey, look at me, I'm a coach. You are going in here to build friendships on purpose with people that have things in common with you. And so what you'll do is you'll go in your groups of focus that are on that sheet. Remember, we wrote down what groups we're focusing on this month. So every single day that you're doing your power hour, you're also going into those groups of focus. It's part of your power hour. You're either asking a question or answering a question, right? So I'll go into my mom groups or whatever, and I'll ask a question. Or I'll go, scroll down and love on some people's posts and give them comfort, and maybe they're about to choke their child out too, and whatever. And I'll, give them, if I have any, suggestions or things that I've been through, or if I could relate or whatever, I will love on their posts. I will go and I will ask a question, if my child's driving me crazy or whatever, and I want some advice or whatever. It's an exchange. You ask and you receive, right? And so that's the purpose in being in these groups. And once you, the first person to like, comment, any of that stuff, you already have common ground right there. They comment on your post, that gives you, that they're already going to know who you are. They're going to know your name. You're going to interact with them on that post, right? You're going to friend request them, and it's not even weird because you're talking to them about something that you guys have an interest in. You're friend requesting them. You're writing them down on your bubble sheet, and then they go to your page and they're like, holy crap, girl. What is this group you have going on? Oh my God, it's Transformation Tuesday. Is that really you? They ask questions like that when your page is exciting, right? Or eventually, maybe they're the quiet ones that don't say anything right away. You're not talking to them about Beachbody, so it's not salesy to them. They're going to come asking you questions because on your page, you got it going on. You are constantly inviting to something. Free groups, those are the best. Absolute the best. You can go, once you build a rapport in these groups, if you've been in groups a really long time and you've given great advice and you've received great advice and you just love those people so much, you can go in there and put a post up that says, hey guys, you guys know me, I'm a busy freaking mom. Anybody want to learn how to clean, eat, and crock pot or whatever, whatever free group you got going on, totally free. Just here's the link if anybody in here wants to. You guys have given me so much advice in here and I so appreciate it. And I'm a busy mom just like you're a busy mom, and I would love for you to join me. And it's not even weird because they're your friends, right? And it's not salesy and it's not like structured, long post, picture or whatever. Maybe just take a picture of you with your crock pot or you with your clean eating or whatever and throw it in there. Hey guys, I love this group so much. I want to just offer it out to you. I usually just run small groups with friends and family, but I wanted to extend the invite. And so that's what you do. And anybody that likes or comments on anything that you go and ask questions about, that is where you build your cold market. Those people you've never met before, but you have a common interest, right? Maybe they want to read the same book as you, or maybe they've already read it and they've given great advice and you can talk about that. Maybe they like bike riding. Maybe they like do-it-yourself stuff. Maybe they like flipping houses. Maybe whatever it is that your interest is, maybe they like that too, and that's your new best freaking friend. But how will you ever know if all you're trying to do is sell Beachbody stuff, right? Absolutely not. And so that's what I do. I funnel them. I funnel my friends. I find friends. I go and I ask questions and answer questions. I intentionally write their names down because I don't want to forget about my friends, right? And then I'm inviting on my personal page. I always got something going on. And then they're asking questions. They're engaging because there's always a call to action on my invite posts, right? And so I've never messaged one person and said, hey, I got a group coming up. I'd love to have you in it. And we'd never spoke before, or we'd never discussed a program or goals or anything like that before. I have never done any of that cold messaging stuff. It creeps me out. Everybody that has ever been helped by me or by my team has been intentional. It has been from just attraction marketing. Be you. Go and make friends intentionally, and they trust you, and you build that bond, and they, it'll come up. It will come up of, what do you do? Or what is all the stuff you talk about on your page? Or, you're so genuine with it. You just seem to really want to help people. What is it that you do? And then that's your opportunity to go, girl, this is what I do. And don't word vomit. Just go after it. And so that's my system. I have all my yeses go into my binder system. I follow up with them. And I just keep making new friends every single day. I do a power hour 5 days a week. I do a planning day once a week. On every Sunday is my planning day. I take 2 hours to buffer posts in my group, set groups up, look at my calendar, see what I'm going to do the next week, make sure that I have my week, my focus groups ready, and just kind of see if I need to add myself to any new focus groups, just stuff like that.
Hey, Jen.
That's it. Yep.
So can you walk us through that post that you made in the curly hair group, right?
Uh-huh.
So let's say that people have commented on it.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your process from getting them to friend you and then to getting them into a challenge group or a free group,
Right.
Assuming that they don't just come to your page and see something, right? I'm sure you have a process of following up with them and inviting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if they like or comment on my post, I friend request them immediately. Hey, thank you so much for the love on my post. I'm so freaking out. Don't know which color to choose, whatever it is I'm talking about. I just send them a personal message and thank them for the advice, or thank them for voting on the picture, and let them know that's the one I was going to go with too. I was steering more towards whatever. You build a little bond, you talk, you communicate, you friend request, right? I do the friend requesting. Or they do. I get random requests all the time. And then once they go to my page, it's just kind of natural. I don't message them and say, hey, I got a group coming up, unless it's somebody I met from one of my parenting groups. And I just message and say, listen, I know you're just as busy. And it's somebody I've already interacted with, so I know they're busy like I am. And I'll message them and say, listen, I got a free group coming up, and it's for busy moms just like us. We are about to crock pot for 7 days, and you're going to love me afterwards. Do you want in? It's free. That's all you got to say. And then if they don't want something that's free, cool. That's not a problem. I'll catch you next time. But you give them that opportunity, right? But a majority of what comes from my business, my success club, my, helping people, it all comes from people who they go for that call to action on my posts. You always have to have a call to action on your post. You always have to be inviting to something. And don't ever feel like because you post something and nobody likes it and nobody seems to give a crap that your awesome post is sitting right there inviting them to something. Just because it doesn't get love, it doesn't mean that it's not a good post. Maybe delete it and post it at a different time, because maybe nobody saw it, right? Or just keep posting. You just can't give up. You have to post. I do 5 to 6 times a day. I post. And usually it's 1 time a day is something inviting.
So if you have a free group coming up, how often do you post that? Because if you're posting 6 times a day, it would easily disappear off your timeline, right?
I post at least 4 times in a week if I have a free group coming up the following week, because I always have a week of prep. So I can always slide extra people in there, and I always share my post and be like, all right, guys, I'm about to close the group. Anybody else? Did I forget anybody else? We've got over 500 people, or, whatever, last call. And I just keep sharing it. So usually about 4 or 5 times in a week for a free group.
Okay.
I don't want anybody to miss it. I'm excited.
Right.
You got to be excited. I'm all up in my crock pot, and I'm crazy with it.
And then how do you go about converting them into a paid group?
before that group ends, you need to be giving them the option, right? That option post of what do you want to do next? How do you feel? How did this group make you feel? And do you want to go any further with it? Because if you do, I want to be the person that gets you there. If anybody has, I go live a lot in my free groups, and I try and dig deep into their little feelings and emotions about weight loss and like how it makes them feel when they eat clean and stuff like that. And then always let them know your story and what can happen next. Because we all know anybody who's gotten results, anybody that's on a program knows how amazing 1 week of clean eating can make you feel. So you just want to reiterate that. And then before the group ends, give them options. 1, do you want to move on to the next group that's throwing in some fitness? 2, are you not quite sure? You just want to kind of be a fly on the wall and maybe join the next one? Or 3, I'm crazy and you don't want to see me or my groups again. And they're going to pick, you know what I'm saying? Like, let them choose. But everybody's commenting below what their option is. So it's not weird. Then you reach out to those people who are commenting number 1 or 1 or 2 or whatever, and talk about their goals. Dig deep into that, and then suggest what would work for them.
Awesome. Okay, who else has a question for Jennifer? It's not the time to be bashful.
I know, right? I'm not shy. And anybody, you guys, you're more than happy to follow me. Can you see somebody's page that's private if you're just following? Do you know?
I would assume.
Anybody know that answer?
I think you'll be able to see most posts, but not all of them. Maybe the first 3.
Well, I gave you guys Jennifer's page, so click follow and see what you can.
See if you can see any posts, guys. That's borderline creepy, but I'm going with it.
Jennifer, I'm actually curious. Do you have 2 pages, or do you have a like page, or like how do you?
Don't go to my like page, y'all. Listen, my heart means well, but I have not touched that thing in over a year, and I don't intend to. I don't know. I don't have the patience for a like page. I do everything on my personal page, and it's because I don't feel salesy. I don't ever feel like I'm trying to sell anything to anyone. And if they're offended by my posts, they don't belong in my circle. So I really don't want them there anyways, because most of my challengers I want as coaches. It's kind of like an intentional adding. So, all right, you can totally friend request me, and I'll accept.
Yeah. So I have a like page, right? But I have to pay money for my friends. And see, Jen, she doesn't pay any money for her friends. Friends just like her. She doesn't have to pay for it.
Greg has to pay for his friends, guys. So Greg is going to go intentionally find new friends that he does not have to pay for.
Right.
Yeah, I'm never sponsored an ad, and I don't do like pages.
I have a question.
So anyway,
go ahead, Paul.
I was going to say is when I look at your page, I see what other people have posted to your page that are
just
little public world on it. We don't actually see your posts. We see your responses to their posts, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's because I'm on private. You can totally friend request me. Anybody that needs to see what I do, and I'll accept. But yeah, no, absolutely. So I mean, it just kind of goes to prove that everybody's different, right? I don't have a like page, never sponsored an ad. I tried one time. It got kicked back. I got frustrated, never tried again. I like to make my friends intentionally, especially I like to connect with local groups. I moved to a new area 5 years ago, and I knew not one person. I'm from Florida, and I moved to Northern Virginia, and I didn't know not one person. And so I got involved in a lot of local groups. And you could just go to that search engine in Facebook, you guys, and type whatever area you're from, and you can bond over anything. Same thing with yard sale groups. If you guys have crap to sell, why are you not best friends with people who are buying from you? Like, those are your new best friends. Bond with them. They're in your area, right? Just be intentional.
I have a question for you. If you're talking about your crock pot group, so if that's a free group, 7-day free group, do you also include exercise during that time period?
Yeah, I'm a bit crazy, Rosemary. So I go live when I'm doing my workout, and I let them know in the morning what time I'm doing it, and I invite them to do it with me. I'll either host a Zoom session, or I just go live. Like, I'm like, hey guys, I'm here. I'm ready to work out. Are you ready to work out? Let's do this. And I let them know ahead of time. There is going to be exercise offered. It's not forced, but yeah, some people, I get a lot of people joining in that way, and they see how cool the programs are, and you just go from there. Even if it's just me making a fool of myself on live, I'm totally okay with it. Yeah. It's a private group, right?
Right.
You'll never see that on my page.
Hey, Jen, I got a question.
Okay.
So on your binder that you have, you said 30 tabs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have one binder? Like, say, for instance, you have your nose and you have your, let's say your yellow, they're not ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
When they do follow through with the fitness and they, turn to be a challenger, do you move them to another binder that you can
Nope.
keep on following up?
Nah, you just get one big nasty binder. You see that? I got plenty of room to grow. And then you go from, I have in my little slip cover sheet, my monthly thing, and I have my little dry erase marker. So I go through and I check off my power hour every day, and then I erase it when I'm done. I have a bubble sheet. And then from that, whoever says yes goes on to a customer. I have at the front, I have my customer contact forms. Whoever says yes goes on a form immediately, and I move them up 1 to 2 days after the day of purchase.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I move them up a couple more days because I want to make sure that I'm right there when they get that box. I let them know, listen, I want you to take a selfie with that box and tag me in it because it's about to change your life. And you just continually love on them. Make sure you constantly follow up with them. And then it goes to about every week or, every few days or whatever. And you just bump them up. And then in the back is where I have all of my my bubble sheets that I've already done for the month, the past months, and my monthly focus sheets, so that I can go back through and all those no's and all those ones that, weren't quite ready yet or whatever, I just go through and follow up with them. That's part of my power hour too, is I just go through and follow up and try and transition them to yes.
So you basically have 30 of each of those sheets, right?
No.
For like the bubble sheets.
But one bubble sheet and one monthly tracker a month. That's it.
Yeah, a month. Okay.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
Once
So
a
then
month.
12. I meant 12. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to give Greg all the docs. I have no secrets. So I'm going to give him my Google Drive for the whole system. And that way you guys at least have it if you don't have a system.
Jen, so I assume this is like the only thing that you mainly do to attract new people, right?
Yep.
So how many friends do you get a week doing this? And like, how many do you then transition into a free group? And how many SC points do you typically get a month? And how many coaches?
Okay, that's a good question. I typically make about 20 to 30 friends a week, intentionally. I always have Success Club, never less than Success Club 5. I mean, it just depends on what hell I'm going through in life, but never less than 5. I don't care what I'm going through. I've never let go of that. But typically around 10 to 15. I don't like to have too many new coaches or challengers because I feel like I'd lose them. So I don't, I think that that's where I've kept the natural growth, that I just, I don't try and help too many people. I'm pretty sure that if I was to go out there and start messaging people like crazy and like doing those activities, that I could get 20 and 30 and 40. I've had 20 and 30 and 40 Success Club points, but it's overwhelming. So,
I just meant like, how many people do you have to get into your free group in order to get 5 people into challenge packs,
My free groups usually bring about 100, 150 people.
Wow.
Yeah, I get everybody loves a free group. Even my customers that are already there, they join in and then they refer people. Oh my God, you got to get in this group. She had one last month and it was awesome. And I do a lot of that, like with referrals. So I get a lot of people like that too. And then, out of every free group, I would say 3 to 5 challenge packs.
Okay.
3 to 5 challenge packs. Yeah. I always have a cutoff date.
Right. I know some coaches obviously, will run a free group, but they'll only have like 10 people in there. Right. So then they feel disappointed when they don't get a challenge pack conversion out of that, but it's really kind of a numbers game, right? So you gotta have the numbers.
Yeah, you have to go for no too. Like you have to every single day be exciting in that group. You can't just post from a template and expect that group to be amazing. We've all had duds, but it kind of all goes off of your energy. So go live, show what you're cooking, you know, show what you're doing in that free group. Doesn't have to be about fitness or health or eating, but just like be ridiculously contagious. Your attitude and your energy needs to be freaking contagious. You need to show that you're excited. And I think that helps a lot too, because I've had groups where I was in a really crappy mood or a really crappy place, but I still ran the group and I was miserable. And all I did was do the buffering of the posts, never really interacted. And it was a dud. And so I can tell the difference. It's got to interact.
So Jen, do you recycle your free group?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same group every month? And do you keep the same people and just add more people?
Yeah, so I have what I do. Crockpot is my thing because like I have 4 teenagers and lots of jobs. So I do the Crockpotters Club, and every month we revamp the menu. We choose 5 to 7 brand new meals that we're gonna make, and we use the same. We add more people into the same free group. So right now there's like 600-700 people in there. And that encourages other people who didn't jump ship and join me in previous times. Now they're stuck with my contagious energy again. And then eventually they're like, okay, this girl's like relentless. I'm just going to go ahead and, jump in. And so that's kind of what I do, because I don't like having 400 different groups. I can't focus. And I'll even change the name. So what if I did a Eat Breakfast Like a Boss, right? So I just changed the name to Eat Breakfast Like a Boss. And this month we're eating breakfast like a freaking boss. And I'm going to teach you how to, start your day a little healthier. And so I changed the name, the cover photo. I announce myself. I go live and let them know, listen, guys, it's that time of the month again. Either, run now or add your friends. One of the two. But we're about to go, get this party started.
Where do you get all these ideas? I mean, your energy is awesome, but where do you get all these just random?
You got to think outside the box. Just like Greg said, you have to teach something, because if you're not teaching something, you're just selling something, right? So I never knew how to meal plan. I never knew how to make a freaking, plan and a grocery list to go with it. I never followed recipes. I am a soul food cooking, fried chicken eating Southern girl. And that's how I knew how to cook. So this was like a scary thing for me to learn, this whole clean eating portion control. And so I made a decision that I had to learn it. I invested the money. I had to learn it. And so I learned it, and now I can teach it, right? So you have to have a quality that you can pass along. And so that's what I do, is I think outside of the box. Like, okay, there's so many people that are terrified of this meal planning, right? So let's have a meal planning 101. Right? Let's break this system down and dumb it down for everybody. Or let's make life easier for the busy person and do crock pot meals. Or let's, I didn't know nobody knew how to make an omelet. I felt like I was like born making omelets. And I didn't understand why nobody else knew how to make omelets when I would post my breakfast, and they were like, oh my God, how do you do this? And I'm like, Groupon omelets? Are you kidding me? And so you just have to think outside the box. What is it that you love? What can you teach? Or maybe you need to learn something that you can teach,
All right. Thank you, Jen.
Of course.
I have a question. I've always been hesitant for security reasons as a female and as a mother to accept friend requests, but I understand that now as a coach, it's a big, marketing tool. So my question is there any way that you filter your friend requests, or you only accept requests from people you've had conversations with? Do you have any advice in that area?
Stay away from creepy men. No, I'm just trying. There's so many men on this call. But no, like seriously, when I get a friend request, the first thing I do is the first thing that everybody else does when we friend request them. I go stalk the heck out of their page. I make sure that there's not like scary ghetto-ness going on that terrifies me. You can pretty much tell who's safe and who's not safe just by going and looking through their pictures, making sure it's not a brand new profile, because it's typically spam when it's like that. Mutual friends in common or mutual groups in common, things like that. I'm very private too. I'm a mom of 4 kids. I'm super, super sketchy about people, but you gotta get over that, sister. You have to, just do the preliminary, and you can always delete them. That is the beautiful thing. If their page is on private and you can't really see anything, you can accept them, stalk, and delete. So just use that process.
Okay.
And if they turn out to be spam or whatever, creepy, you just block them, right?
Yeah.
And then they're gone.
My list is long. Yeah, that's all you gotta do.
If you have someone that likes or loves, say you put a post out that's just an encouraging motivation post, and then someone hearts it or loves it, is that when you should friend request them?
I pay attention. Well, see, they wouldn't be liking or loving anything on my page unless we're already friends. But are you talking about like in one of those groups?
No, I was just like on my personal page, I had recently put a motivation post, and then someone that I have no idea who it is put a heart on it that they really liked it. So I wasn't sure.
Oh yeah, so that's when you become a PI, sister. You go to their page and you see who you're mutual friends with. Make sure it's not coaches, because that is just like rule number 1. Always check mutual friends. If they're already friends with your coach or a bunch of coaches on your team or whatever, honestly, I don't even want to be friends with somebody like that, because I don't want to feel like I'm stepping on toes. But if it's like a mutual friend of somebody you went to school with or somebody that's already in your network, honey, that's a free friend request. Write their name in your bubble sheet.
Okay.
Yeah, you go and you thanks for loving on my page, and just friend request them. Absolutely. They liked your stuff, so they know your name.
Okay, great.
Okay, anyone else? All right.
I got one more.
Okay.
Bring it on.
So on your power hour, you do all this craziness, and I know it sounds like you're crazy.
Yeah.
But you only do that for an hour a day.
An hour a day.
Okay.
1 hour a day. And do you know what? I teach this to my team because we get so distracted, right? If you have an iPhone, go to your battery usage and tell me how many hours you're on Facebook, right? And tell me how many hours in the week, because it'll tell you a week how long you have spent on Facebook with your battery life on your phone. Now, how many times have you actually done a power hour? You're spending too much time scrolling and loving on other coaches. And that's why I'm not friends with a whole bunch of coaches. Because when I'm not going to spend my days liking and commenting on other coaches' stuff. They already know I love them in my team page, right? So you're spending too much time doing it's not productive use of your time. So if you just stick to it, and I actually have a kitchen timer. I'm so old school, it's not even funny. I have a kitchen timer that I wind up. I'm like, all right, 15 minutes, sister. And you're there. I'm plugging into whatever activity it is, with my follow-ups or with my creating my posts for the following day. I do that. I already have my post ready the night before in my note section in my phone to go out. So use your time more wisely. I removed the Facebook app off of my phone. Therefore, I'm only logging in when it's my power hour and in the morning. So I log in first thing in the morning and love on my team. And love in my challengers, and I can cross that off my list. And then I log in at lunchtime, and I break my power hour up into 3 segments. And then at nighttime, I do it again. But it's no more than an hour, and I set the timer. So you have to go in with intention and do not get sidetracked, right? So if you're doing follow-ups, send all the messages out and do not respond yet until you've sent all of your messages out. We have that stuck in our head that we got to hurry up and respond, or we got to hurry up and do this. Absolutely not. Put your business hours out there and stick to them.
Jennifer, I have a quick question.
What's up?
Okay, well, I have a few questions actually. Okay, for one, you said you don't have the Facebook app on your phone anymore. Okay, I did that. I uninstalled it, but then what I found what was hard is that I have a Droid and I have a Mac computer. Mm-hmm. And so when I take pictures, or I do pictures on WordSwag or anything, and I want to upload them to Facebook for a post, I have to go try to plug in my computer into Mac and try to find some kind of Droid transfer thing. And so how do you handle that? Like if you're on the go with your kids or you're out somewhere, I know you're not in the public eye, but how do you handle those situations where you need to get a post out there or something live and in the moment?
You can message yourself the photo through Safari or whatever browser you're using. You can message it to yourself, and you can open it from there and save it to your phone. You can do all of those things and still be able to post from Safari or from wherever. I message it to myself, and then when I'm home or whatever, I go to my messages and open it up. I don't know if that answers your question. And then I
message it to yourself.
Message it, type in your name in the Facebook messages, like you're just sending yourself a inbox.
Oh, really? I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, yeah, totally. I have an entire message thread to myself of templates and anything I need saved. I just message it to myself.
So you have Facebook Messenger on your phone. You just don't have the Facebook app on your phone.
No, I don't have any of it. It was too distracting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just go to Safari or Google, whatever. And when I do my power hour, it's on the computer and it's totally intentional.
Okay. The other question I had too is you said you have a private page. I've tried doing that because with my husband's job and us being military and stuff, I like to have a lot of things locked down. However, some people told me to put people into lists.
Mm-hmm.
I do general public posts, and then when your friends list, like for instance, one of the ladies just asked, what about if you get a creeper or somebody you don't really know on a friends list? I put new people on a restricted list until I can check them out. And then I have certain people that are really close to me, like on the close friends list, and certain people that are other coaches on the coach list. So is that something you utilize too? Do you utilize lists when you post?
Lists are huge. Yeah, lists are huge. I literally only have a list for coaches and new friends, like people that are my no's. I have a list for no's, a list for coaches, and then a list for the rest of the people of the world. I don't get too far into it, the restricted and stuff, because I literally won't let them in if I don't want them there.
No, but you won't post anything public?
Very randomly, like opportunity posts and stuff like that, I will do public in the evening, but not during my work hours. And very seldom. If you go to my page, you won't see very many things at all in public.
Okay, so you're basically only posting to your Facebook page during your power hour.
Yeah. Well, I'm spread throughout the day, so I use Buffer and things of that nature as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Also, you can use Dropbox, because when I had a Android, I installed Dropbox on it, and it automatically will sync your pictures to Dropbox. And then when you log in your computer, they're already automatically there.
Oh, that's awesome, Greg. Thank you. I totally forgot about Dropbox. Oh, yeah. I felt kind of stupid, but that's okay.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to, like, if you get
I'll record that question.
If you get like cute, I have go take 1,000 pictures, like change your shirt 1,000 times, and maybe flop your hair a different way or whatever, go in different rooms and stuff like that. Take a whole bunch of pictures, and then you can spread them out.
That's what Shalene Johnson said to do. She said that she'll put her hair up in a ponytail, then she'll take it down, she'll put different makeup on.
Don't be afraid to do that.
All the same day. Cool.
Yeah.
How long do you have a conversation with someone in a group before you actually friend request them?
Oh, no, immediately. I'm their new best friend. As soon as they comment on my post, they're like, girl, you should do number 5. Absolutely. Yes, friend request. I think you're right. I loved that color. It was so much fun, blah, blah, blah. It just depends on what you're talking about. Friend request immediately. I don't wait.
And the groups you're in don't frown on that?
No, because I never mention Beachbody. Never. Like, it never comes out of my mouth.
Okay. That never comes up until they're in the pre-group. And
they'll see my page. They'll see, everything else, but I never feel like I'm selling anything. Right? So on my page, it's not like buy from me. I don't post links. I am the link. So that's what you have to do. Just be a product of the product, and you will never have a problem with that. And don't care what other people think. Do not ever care what other people think. Ever.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Jennifer. I think
You're so welcome.
I think we've exhausted all the questions, so we'll let you go. And definitely appreciate you sharing, your system with us, your new simplified system. So.
Yes, definitely simplified. I'll send you all the links so that you can pass it along to whoever wants to take part. And if you guys have questions, feel free to ask me. I'll answer you on my power hour.
Right, just 1 hour a day.
Just 1 hour a day. No, I actually answer messages later in the evening because I'm a night owl. But
I
will
assume
get back to
you work more than 1 hour a day. You just do your power hour for 1 hour.
I do my power hour for 1 hour a day, and then in the evening time, I'll respond to questions for my coaches.
Okay. In
Yeah.
calls and things like that.
Yeah. That's all I do. But 1 hour a day focused on the business, the activities of growing your cold market, messaging, posting, like all that stuff. 1 hour.
Great. All right, guys. Thanks,
Thank
Jennifer. And
You're welcome. You
thank
guys have a good
everyone
night.
for
Thank you
coming
for
out.
having me.
you, Jen. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.